What is an algebraic expression? An algebraic expression is a combination of two or more algebraic terms that are separated by addition or subtraction or both. For example, 3x minus 2y plus 1 is an algebraic expression. In this video, I will show you everything you need to know about algebraic expression, and we'll start right now. Hello everyone, my name is Shirley and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here and you would like to improve in your math skills, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so that you don't miss anything. Let's take a look at the first part of algebraic expressions. What is algebra? Algebra is the part of mathematics in which letters and other general symbols are used to represent numbers or quantities in formulae and equations. For example, company A has X workers. So A is the object and X is the unknown that represents the number of workers. What is algebraic term? An algebraic term is the product of a number and an unknown, and the number is called the coefficient. For example, 9y. So 9 is the coefficient and y is the unknown, and 9y is the algebraic term. What are like terms? Like terms are terms which have the same unknown. For example, half x, 3x, and negative 0.5x. So all these are like terms. What are unlike terms? Unlike terms are terms which have different unknowns. For example, 2x, 3y, and negative 1.5a. So all these are called unlike terms. How to add and subtract in algebraic expressions? Algebraic terms with like terms can be simplified by adding or subtracting the coefficients of the unknowns. Let's take a look at the following three examples. For question number 1, 2x minus negative 4y plus 7x plus 3y. So before that, we have to take note of this, which is positive, we get positive, positive, negative, we get negative, negative, positive is negative, and negative, negative is positive. Okay? So for this question, there's a negative, negative, and we have to simplify it. So negative, negative is positive. Okay, so in the next step, I'm going to write 2x plus 4y plus 7x plus 3y. And next, I'm going to rearrange this according to its like terms. So 2x plus 7x plus 4y plus 3y. Okay, so equals 2x plus 7x is 9x, and 4y plus 3y is 7y. So that's the answer. Let's look at question 2. 8ab squared plus 9xy plus minus 3a, which is negative 3a, minus 6ab squared. So first of all, we have to simplify this sign. Positive, negative become negative. Okay, so the next step will be 8ab squared plus 9xy minus 3a minus 6ab squared. So next, I'm going to rearrange according the like terms. So 8ab squared and negative 6ab squared, they are like terms. So equals 8ab squared minus 6ab squared plus 9xy minus 3a. Okay, so 8ab squared minus 6ab squared is 2ab squared. Then we bring down the 9xy and we bring down negative 3a. So that's the answer. Let's look at question number 3. If x equals to 4 and y equals to negative half, calculate the value of 3x squared minus 5xy. So I'm going to write down the expression, which is 3x squared minus 5xy. And next, I'm going to substitute the values of x and y. So x is 4 and y is negative half. So 3, so x is 4, so 4 in bracket, square, minus 5, 4 in bracket, and negative half in bracket. Okay, and then we can cancel this off. Okay, because 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay, so equals 3 times 4 square is 16, and minus, so 5 times 2 is 10. But take note, negative, negative, you get positive. Okay, so equals 3 times 16 is 48 plus 10. So equals 48 plus 10 is 58. So this is the answer. How to multiply and divide in algebraic expressions. The product of two algebraic terms can be found by multiplying the numbers and unknowns separately, whereas the quotient of two algebraic terms can be found by using the cancellation method. Let's take a look at the following 3 examples. For question number 1, 2pq times 3pq square r. So how to solve this? First of all, I'm going to break this up, become 2 times p times q and times 3 times p times q times q times r. So next, I'm going to rearrange it, whereby I'm going to put the numbers in front. So 2 times 3, and then p times p, so p times p, and then q times q times q. So q times q times q, and then times, bring down the r. So equals, so 2 times 3 is 6, and p times p is p square, q times q times q is q cube, and then times r. So that's the answer. And next, for question number 2, 24r square st cube divided by 3rst square. So I'm going to break this up. So 24 r square is r times r, and then times s times, so t cube is t times t times t, and then whole thing divided by 3rst squared means 3 times r times s times t times t. And then next, we're going to see what we can cancel. So 24 divided by 3, so we'll get 8, and then 1r on top and 1r at the bottom, 1s on top and 1s at the bottom, and 1t on top and 1t at the bottom. So we get 8. So there's an 8 here, and then there's only 1r on top, so r, and then there's a t which can cancel, and then there's only 1t left, so the answer is 8rt. Let's look at question 3. 6xy times 3y squared z divided by 9xy z cubed. So I'm going to break this up. It becomes 6 times x times y, and times 3 times y times y times z, and then the whole thing divided by 9 times x times y times, so z cubed means 3 times z times z times z. And then we see what we can cancel. So 6 and 9, we can cancel. So cancelled, cancelled. Okay, divided by 3, we get 2. Divided by 3, we get 3. And then we can also cancel this 3 with this 3. Okay, and then there's one x on top and one x at the bottom.
and 1y, 1y, 1z and 1z. So we get the answer 2. Y times y is y squared over z times z is z squared. So that's the answer.
1 is expansion in algebraic expression. Expansion is the result of multiplying an algebraic expression by a term or another algebraic expression. Let's take a look at the following examples. Before we go through the examples, so we have to learn some formulas in order to solve expansion of single pair of brackets. For number 1, a bracket x plus y minus z. So first of all, we are going to draw the arrows, okay, to make sure that we multiply term by term. So a times x is ax, a times y is ay, and a times negative z is negative az. As for number 2, x squared times y squared, we get x squared y squared. Then x squared times negative 2xz, we get minus 2x cubed z. Because x squared times x is x cubed. Let's look at number 3. AB bracket a plus c. So AB times a is a squared b, and AB times c is abc. Okay, let's look at examples now. So let's look at number 1. So first of all, we're going to draw the arrows first. So we're going to multiply term by term, okay? So 3 times x is 3x, 3 times positive 2y is positive, 3 times 2 is 6 and it's y, and 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. That's the answer. As for number 2, 3x squared times y squared, we get 3x squared y squared, and then 3x squared times with negative 2xz. So it becomes negative 6x cubed z. As for number 3, 2x times 3 and 2x times y. So we get 6x, and 2x times y is 2xy. So that's the answer. For expansion of double pair of brackets, you have to remember the following. For number 1, a plus b in bracket times x plus y in bracket. So first of all, we're going to draw the arrows. And then we pick the first term, which is a, times with x, we get ax, and a times with y, we get ay. And then we pick the second term, which is b. So b times x is bx, and b times y is by. Let's look at number 2. A plus b in bracket times with x minus y in bracket. So first we draw the arrows, which is a times x and a times negative y, and b times x and b times negative y. So we get ax minus ay plus bx minus by. And number 3, a plus b in bracket whole thing squared. So a plus b in bracket whole thing squared means that a plus b times a plus b. So we use the same way, we draw the arrows, after that we multiply one by one. So a times a, and then a times b, and b times a, and then b times b. So we get a squared plus ab plus ab plus b squared. And then ab and ab, we can plus them together, we get 2ab. So we get a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Let's look at number 4. A minus b whole thing squared, which means that we multiply 2 times the same bracket, which is a minus b times a minus b. And then we draw the arrows and then we multiply one by one. So a times a, and then a times negative b, and then negative b times a, and then negative b times negative b. So a times a is a squared, a times negative b is negative ab, negative b times a is negative ab, and negative b times negative b is positive b squared. And then negative ab minus ab is negative 2ab. So the answer is a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Let's look at number 5. A minus b in bracket times a plus b in bracket. So as usual,
we draw the arrows and then we multiply one by one. So a times a, and then a times b, and negative b times a, negative b times b. So a times a, we get a square, a times b, we get ab, negative b times a, we get negative ab, and negative b times b, we get negative b square. And ab minus ab is 0. So the answer is a square minus b square. Let's look at the examples. So number 1, x plus 2 times x plus 3. So first of all, we have to draw the arrows. So x times x, and then x times 3. So we get x squared plus 3x. And then 2 times x, we get 2x, and 2 times 3, we get 6. So equals x squared, 3x plus 2x is 5x, and then plus 6. So that's the answer. Let's solve number 2. X times x, and then x times negative 3. So x times x is x squared, x times negative 3 is negative 3x, and then 2 times x, and 2 times negative 3. So 2 times x is positive 2x, 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. So equals x squared, negative 3x plus 2x is negative x, and then negative 6. Let's look at number 3. So x plus 3 whole thing square. So x plus 3 whole thing square means x plus 3 times x plus 3. Okay, so equals, so x times x is x squared, x times positive 3 is 3x, then after that 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times 3 is 9. And the answer is x squared, 3x plus 3x is 6x, and then plus 9. Okay, so next, x minus 3 whole thing squared. So equals, so instead of writing 2 times of the same bracket, there's actually another way which is faster, and this way can be used in exam too. So let's look here. The first term is x. So x squared, we get x squared. Okay, and then the middle term will be 2 times negative 3 times x, which is negative 6x. And then we pick the second term, negative 3 whole thing square is positive 9. So that's the answer. Okay, let's look at number 5. So what if it's x minus 6 in bracket times x plus 6 in bracket? So first of all, we draw the arrows. So x times x is x squared. Then x times 6 is 6x. Then negative 6 times x is negative 6x. And negative 6 times 6 is negative 36. So equals, so x squared, 6x minus 6x is 0. And we bring down the minus 36. So that's the answer.
What is factorization? Factorization is a process of finding the factors of a term or an algebraic expression. Thus, factorization is a reverse of expansion. Let's take a look at the following examples.
Before we go through the examples, we have to learn the 3 methods of factorization of algebraic expressions. So method number 1 is to take out the highest common factor, which is HCF. For example, ax plus 2ay, so the highest common factor is a here and a here. So we take out the a, so in the bracket will be x plus 2y. For method number 2, we use the formula for 3 terms. For example, a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Okay, so we put 2 brackets. Okay, so a squared is a times a. And then we look at the third term, b squared is b times b. And then since the 2 brackets are the same, so we can simplify to become a plus b whole thing square. Okay, to double confirm, we just need to expand this again, and then we get the answer. So number 2, a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So we put 2 brackets. So a squared is a times a. And then we look at the third term, b squared is negative b times negative b. Okay, why is it negative? Because here there's a negative sign. So when there's a negative sign, it means that both brackets are also in negative. So to simplify this, So we get A minus B whole thing squared. And third method is by using formula for 4 terms. So let's say the question is AB plus AC plus BD plus CD. So let's look at the first 2 terms first. So the HCF for the first 2 terms is A. So we take out the A, we get B plus C. Then write it down here. And then BD plus CD. So the HCF for these 2 terms is D. We take out the D. So in the bracket is B plus C. And you bring it down here. Then we look at these 2 terms. So you see the similarity? Here got B plus C and here is also B plus C. Which means that we can factorize the B plus C, put it here. So A plus D will be in another bracket. Okay, let's look at examples. So number 1, 2x plus 4y. So the HCF for these 2 terms is 2 because both terms can be divided by 2. So I'm going to take out 2, okay? So here will be x, and then 4y divided by 2 is 2y. So that's the answer. Let's look at 2-1. X squared plus 6x plus 9. So there are 3 terms. So I'm going to put 2 brackets first, and then I look at the first term. If it's x squared, therefore it's x and x. Then I look at the third term, which is 9. So it'll be 3 times 3, and then all positive. Okay, so x plus 3 times x plus 3. So equals, so if both brackets are the same, we can simplify it to become x plus 3 whole thing squared. Let's look at the next one. X squared minus 6x plus 9. So firstly, I'm going to draw 2 brackets, and then I look at the first term, which is x squared. So x squared means x times x. Then I look at the third term. 9 is 3 times 3. And then, because the sign here is negative and this is positive, so we can confirm that both brackets are in negative. So x minus 3 and x minus 3, we can simplify to become x minus 3 whole thing squared. Okay? Then for number 3, x squared minus xy plus 6x minus 6y. So this we use formula for 4 terms. Okay? So equals, so you look at the first 2 terms first. So the HCF for the first 2 terms is x. So we take out the x. So you get x, because x squared divided by x is x, minus y, because xy divided by x is y, and that's a negative. Then close bracket. And then plus, okay, let's look at the third and the fourth term. The HCF for the third and the fourth term is 6. So we take out the 6, okay, bracket. So x minus y. Okay, so equals, so let's look at these 2 terms. What is the similarity? X minus y and x minus y, right? Okay, so we can take out the x minus y, and then in another bracket will be x plus 6. Okay, so that's the answer.
Well, that's all for now. Stay tuned to my next video, which is solving problems in algebraic expressions involving daily life, coming up soon. Bye guys!